What's good? What's good?
Nice to see you here.
Gang. You already know, whole lot of podcast shit. It is episode 10 of the Mondo Cool podcast.
Mondo.
Cool.
Episode 10.
September 19th, 2017.
Gang. We are at it again, live on Twitch every 9 p.m. Pacific time. Tune in, hang out in the chat, say nice things, say mean things. Donate. Do whatever you feel like, man.
Hurt our feelings.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. And you know what it is. The starting lineup is me, your boy, Mark Lane, a.k.a. Some Black Kid 87. And to my left, we got
Enrique here.
Hey.
Enrique's doing pretty well, everyone. If you're wondering, if you want the Enrique check-in, that's it.
Let's go.
I need it.
Good status update.
Yeah. What's the who are you
Oh,
again?
man on the
let
right.
me tell you. My name is Austin Dodge, and I'm A-OK.
Okay, that's good.
A-OK.
Yeah,
A for Austin, OK for just OK.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Glad to fucking
Busy,
hear it.
but OK.
Yeah. The man needs a day off.
I gotta take a quick day off
Man needs a
tomorrow,
breather.
or the next day,
Respectable.
Maybe the next one. We'll see.
Well, let's get right into it, starting things off with our segment here, Hot or Not. Our first track in the Hot or Not segment, where we basically break down all the new tracks that came out in the past week and rate them hot or not. First one up, we got Quavo, Stars in the Ceiling. Nice new track with Zaytoven on the beat.
Zaytoven.
Enrique, what'd you think of this one?
That was a pretty, a nice little melodic song. The thing is, I was kind of expecting it to be like a banger, kind of. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I was a little more of a melodic, somber track, as opposed to, just like a party track, which is what I would expect. So I don't know if that's an inclination to what the album's going to be as a whole, or that's just being him being all right, this is just what I wanted to put out. But yeah, I thought it was just it was a nice little change of pace, and I thought it was enjoyable.
Well, I actually was I don't know. I have a weird feeling towards just Lucy's, just single tracks that aren't for a project or anything.
Wow, good title.
So I was kind of
oh, this is not for a full project?
No,
it seems like just a rando drop.
Just a rando drop.
Okay.
But the man is busy to list all the things he's got coming out right now. He's got a collab album with Travis Scott. Apparently they have 20 tracks recorded, ready to go. So that's a thing that's out there. Culture 2 is apparently on its way soon. Offset's calling it a masterpiece already. So
they'll be releasing it the same year,
I hope he's
right?
not left off.
Or was Culture's 2016? I think it was right before the year ended.
No, it wasn't.
Really? It's 2017?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, actually.
God damn.
Because I listened to that one song on Christmas and the album wasn't out yet.
That makes sense. But yeah, so he's got a lot going on, but then he just
T-shirt
decides to... Oh, right, because the snow and all that good stuff. But yeah, he decided to just throw out this track, and it's cool. It's basically a cut and paste Quavo song for me. I was just kind of yep, this is what Quavo does. So I was just kind of all right, cool. I'm glad you dropped that out for us. But I don't know, something about Lucy's, I feel they either gotta be crazy, just wow, no one was expecting this, or it's a lay all your shit out there. You just needed to vent on a track real quick.
It was neither.
And it was neither of them. Not because and I feel not that I expected him to do it, but that's why I'm kind of just why put out just a random track if it's just going to be more of what you normally do. But it's chill. It's not a bad song. That's for damn sure. So it exists. Awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, it definitely felt like a random single that had no place to go other than just post it online somewhere. Yeah. And I don't know, I feel in some ways I don't like singles that come out like that because they end up, you're right, not existing anywhere substantial. They're just a piece you have to find or know about within that artist's history.
Right.
But also I feel in an era of new the way music's being delivered is changing drastically, the Life of Pablo and 2-part albums and other weird shit. I don't know, it feels these types of songs are just status updates in that
just a quick check-in.
They're just a quick little check-in. It's just another Instagram post.
But sometimes they end up being hits, EXO Tour Life, for
right,
example, would be
and then you you throw it on an album later. It's kind of you can use it as fishing, or most of Ugly God's album.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. But you're right. He had the recipe. I feel he jumped in the Quavo kitchen, got all the ingredients, threw them in the bowl, cooked it up with a crock pot. Whatever, and it was just another Quavo song. I like Zaytoven, so that was nice, but it was chill.
yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah.
It felt like a status update. Like, read it once. If it comes back around, cool. If not,
If
fine.
not, yep, there it goes.
Yep, that's up. See ya. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our next song on the list here, we got Travis Scott and Metro Boomin dropping another little Lucy out there called Blue Pill. This one I was kind of like, same thing. I was kind of, but even like more disappointed, I think, on my end. I was just kind of like, alright, this is a song that exists, and I was like, the beat's kind of cool. I feel like it didn't go anywhere, didn't have anything, I don't know, it just wasn't catchy for me in any way like a usual Travis Scott song is, and there was like a little bit of melody, but
I listened to this song 4 hours ago, and I honestly cannot remember it.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to constantly keep like playing this song and be like, what are my thoughts on this, because it just didn't remember it each time, and I was just like,
it just felt like a generic Travis Scott song.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this was even more so than the Quavo like formula. He literally like felt like he copy pasted just a Travis Scott song over a nice little beat, and like even the ad libs felt like they weren't even like, I don't know. It feels like this song he could have just taken these ad libs from other songs and just threw them in like after the fact. Like it was like slapped together. Travis Scott, generic.
Like Quavo
wasn't bad.
had like an emotional undercurrent.
Exactly.
Of, like, saying something, as opposed to this, it just felt like nothing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like lyrics in this one.
No substance. And like it's not catchy enough to not have substance.
Right.
So I'm gonna give it a quick nod.
Yeah, it was definitely a not off for me, which I did not expect from a Metro Boomin Travis Scott collab. But
2 all-stars.
I was like,
but
I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that.
What are you gonna do?
But hey, not all of them can be rock stars.
Not all of them can be rock stars. That's just the
like
facts.
the boy Post Malone and 21 Savage, who linked up for Post's newest single for his upcoming album, Beer Pong and Bentleys, which I think is coming out next month, something like that. Fact check me, you won't. But yeah, I've been still in this like long period of like, I don't know what to think of Post Malone, because I definitely still remember him saying the N-word. And there's all this talks about him being like an industry plant. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the man can sing. The man's not really...
What was the N-word thing? I didn't know.
I don't even know that.
Oh, you don't even know that?
How long ago was
this
it?
This was like before he had like released any projects.
No.
This was before...
His first song.
This was before he like released any projects or anything. This is like peak... Everybody like he's finally on the radio like a bunch, and then this came out. Yeah, and then like
that's how that goes.
There's just like an old. I think he's like 16 or 17. So I'm just like, all right, fair, I guess, but not. And then I don't know. So I remembered that, and then I was still kind of like not officially stoled. Like it took me 2 times to like enjoy Stoney, his debut. But now I don't know. I like this song a lot. I think he's really come to form as like his singing style, and there's some beautiful vocals and melodies on this track. And it's pretty solid. 21 Savage coming in, switching up the flow a little bit, matching Post Malone, working really well off of him for that second verse. So I actually liked it a lot. I was like, all right, maybe Beer Pongs and Bentleys will be the album that like solidifies my opinion on Post and whether or not I like fully fucks with him. Okay. Because he seems like a nice dude.
He's been really good on social media and just like existing recently. I like the way he's handled most situations, like Jake Paul showing up at his house and other bullshit, and him just being friends with H3H3 Productions. Yep. All of that.
The funny Rich Chigga antics and then the mariachi band.
Rich Chigga.
Bro, what? Just like a little side note, I remember Jake Paul is working with another rapper, and I forgot who was it.
It's our main Gucci Mane.
Okay, we can transition later for a quick second.
That's a whole thing.
I'm bad. That was a great transition.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, you didn't give us enough time.
Oh, well, sorry.
It's okay.
So yeah, I didn't like this song.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was bad.
Damn.
Really?
I thought 21 Savage was good, I don't like 21 Savage, and I thought he was good on this song because I just didn't like Post Malone so much that 21 Savage was like a breath of fresh air. He was also rapping differently, and I was like, wow, look, 21 Savage is trying, and I think he sounds pretty good on this. But the thing is, like, the rest of the song I'll never go back to. I really didn't like it.
I feel like this is one of those songs where you're never going to go back to it, but it's going to come back to you for the next year.
You think it's going to be
going to be on
I
the
heard
radio
it premiered on the radio. And when a song premieres on the radio, good luck listening to the radio for the next year because it doesn't leave.
Damn.
I was in the car on my way to work, and I was like, whoa, new song, Post Malone, 21 Savage? What's this going to be? And I thought it was a lot of fun. It's very catchy. It's something I'm going to be singing along to whether I like it or not. I was excited to hear 21 Savage do anything other than like Savage Mode content.
Right.
And Post Malone, I think he's got a really, really, real nice voice. But the song's pretty radio average. But I'm leaning towards liking it, and I think with it being drilled into my head via radio and like walking through stores, I think I'm gonna like it.
For sure. No, for sure. I mean, it's definitely catchy, but it definitely brings the like point of how industry pushed is this man, just based on how quickly he's getting pushed on the radio and stuff. And it just feels like he did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I get that argument for sure, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what this new album gives us and whether or not it'll be
so
a
far
flop or
the
not.
only Post Malone song I like is Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's a good song.
What do you like expressly hate about him in terms of like his sound?
Is it a hate or just like
it's just like it's really boring.
Yeah.
Fair
enough for you.
Yeah, he's just like Congratulations is just catchy enough that the whole time that like it keeps my attention. But then like sometimes I'm just like, oh, this guy's just so boring.
That's fair.
And like sometimes it kind of like falls in milk. Cause I think White Iverson did, like where it's just like the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, this could be, but it's kind of like not that interesting of a song. But then I was like, oh, this is catchy though.
Yeah.
So it kind of fell kind of like between both. And then this song is just like I just did not care. Like anything he said, it just was not interesting to me. And then as soon as 21 Savage came in, I just felt like that was way more energy and like just expressive, and like I was like, oh wow, he's saying something. And he's also the fact that I was like 21 Savage is different. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's what was exciting.
So it was like multiple levels of things when 21 Savage entered.
Well, yeah, because what I'm interested with you is like, I think you're totally right, and I feel like that's why he's kind of this introduction, I guess, or not an introduction, but this like pushing of pop rap where like he is just like it is just like I don't know, like sugary filler. Like he's not like saying anything. He's just saying, "Oh, I feel like a rock star. Crazy stuff's happening around me." But there's no like depth to anything he's saying.
Right.
And he's just kind of coasting off catchiness.
It did kind of remind me of that Nickelback song where he talks about being a rock star.
Hey,
yeah, and I think that also made me not. Yeah, that might. I was kind of like, I don't know why that hit. And I associated it with it, and I was just like, I don't like this song anymore now.
I don't like the song anymore either.
But it's just like, yeah, no, I get that, but I feel like he's coasting off of catchiness, and I've been having this internal struggle of whether that's
he for sure
okay or not.
I think you can if you're consistently catchy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you think what Ray Shremmer, for example,
right,
is like the catchy machine.
That's true.
Like, there's really no depth to any Ray Shremmer song.
But I feel like they have more quotables than like a Post Malone song.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Do you think it's just like charisma? It should be a factor. I think that's mostly Post Malone's issue.
There's not much charisma there.
No, because if we're talking about depth, because there's plenty of like just like party songs that still are okay. Like you can just do that. But yeah, it's just like I think there's just like a lack of depth in his character. Like, who is Post Malone? It's like I can't tell you.
Because he just came out of nowhere. He just was suddenly like, big. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. I've listened to a bunch of songs. I don't know, who is he? Like, what is
really fun as a person.
He seems like just like a nice person.
He's a really fun person. He seems really positive and nice. But
I don't know. I don't think his music reflects that. Like what I've seen, at least on social media. Like his kind of like goofy, fun nature. He doesn't come off as a he's like I'm gonna be a rock star. Like So I don't know whether I don't get a really good picture of who he is.
Yeah.
And therefore I get bored. I think.
Fair.
That's fair. Oof. Well, someone who's never gonna make me bored and has a ton of charisma and craziness, the man Gucci Mane, aka Jake Paul collaborator, dropping a new single for the delayed album Mr. Davis. New song called Curve featuring The Weeknd. And let me say, for the man whose ad lib is Burr, I think this song's pretty hot.
Whoa!
Yeah, I fucks with it a lot. Like, I think it was a solid. It's definitely another song where I felt like it was gonna be the Belly Syndrome, where it was just gonna be like a Weeknd completely taking over the song. Oh. But Gucci's just Gucci, and he knows how to bring it back as soon as his verse starts, like a minute and 30 minutes into the song. But I really fucks with it. I thought it was a great song, and once again, I gotta say I'm really pumped for this upcoming album, and I think it's gonna be great because I love this song. I love the other two tracks that have come out, and Gucci's just fucking killing it right now.
Yeah. Man, I was excited to hear this one because I didn't even know The Weeknd was on it. Mm-hmm. So I had this really funny experience where
I found out quickly.
So I'm listening to the song, and all I know is it's a Gucci song, and Gucci's hard. Like, he makes good music. Like, he does like real trap shit.
Right.
And so I'm listening to what I think is a Gucci song, and The Weeknd comes on, and I audibly laughed out loud because like. The Weeknd at this point is a joke, and that's sad because he's made such incredible music with things like the trilogy and all that stuff. But The Weeknd brought it back real quick for a quick Gucci song, and I was really excited to hear The Weeknd do something that's not like, I don't know,
Poppy
cocaine, hip, like pop radio bullshit. Like, it was The Weeknd like actually producing some content, like no 10-minute comp. Like, it was really exciting. I was really excited to hear like quality. With Weeknd again, and then Gucci just came through being Gucci, and it was exactly what you'd expect from Gucci, and Gucci is good. Burr, that's it. Yeah. Burr, it's hot.
It was POK.
Yeah,
okay from Enrique.
Yeah,
lukewarm.
It's average.
Lukewarm. I thought it was just kind of average. I don't know. It was like no one really surprised me, and it was just kind of like I feel like Gucci Mane, like at points, I don't know whether or not like him doing him sometimes surprises me, and other times it bores me. And it literally is just the same. Just sometimes it's like
no, totally. That's
like
fair.
I can't really explain it because sometimes I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah. And
other times I'm just like, oh, he's doing this again, huh? And it's like literally the difference is so small. And and this just fell on the other end where it's just like, oh, it's just this again, huh? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe it could switch because I think the difference is so tiny that if I listen to it again, I might be like, actually, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like the first couple times I listened to this, I was just kind of like, hey, this is okay. Like I wasn't completely. I just like a weird Gucci. I think just the amount of music he's produced and like I've listened to, it's just become like. It's just like a flipping of a coin of him doing the Gucci shtick. Right. Whether or not I'm gonna be like, this is amazing, I can listen to this, or me being like, oh, it's just the same shit again. Yeah. But it is the same shit always.
Right.
It's never not.
That's an incredible review of like Gucci Mane in general, honestly. Like I feel like the difference between one of his like bangers and just another Gucci song is so slight. Right. Because they're all really good, but I feel like most of them are just on the edge of being absolute fire. Yeah. But the ones that are on fire are just slightly higher. Yeah. There's like a little difference that just needs to be made sometime. Is it the beat? Is it the lyrics? I don't know. But
we'll see. What's interesting for me is like I kind of like the opposite point was the reason why I liked this one was like I felt that he brought something like a little new, like because with The Weeknd coming in rapping better than he's rapped in a long time. I was like, I was like, oh man, what's Gucci gonna follow this up with? And then he has like he has like a unique, like weird Gucci flow that only Gucci would do, where he's like, the Gucci has arrived, boo doo doo dee doo. Yeah, I was like, it just like got, I was like, it brought me like back in. I was like, wow, this is weird. And there he goes. The man is off. And I was like, yep, he just came right in.
He's a legend. Mm-hmm. He's like one of those people that we're going to look back on, like, when all said and done, 50 years down the line, like, he's going to be one of those people that, like, really represented the culture.
Yeah, no, he, like, definitely his influence on music and the amount of music he produces is insane. I think he's, like, the first to produce the amount he has, like, especially.
He's a hustler.
I feel like it's almost, to me, it's like Snoop Dogg syndrome, where, like, Snoop Dogg kind of does the same thing, and the difference is so slight. Of it being like, this is amazing Snoop Dogg, and this is the same Snoop Dogg.
This Snoop line.
Well, sometimes, because then sometimes he'll go off the rails, and you're like, whoa, Snoop, don't do that ever again.
That was a great year, please stop.
You're like, thanks, bud, but no.
At the end of the day, he's like, it's a legend. His impact is like, you can't deny it.
No, 100%.
Same with Gucci. I mean,
damn.
What's working with Jake Paul. That's weird.
Okay, so just quick updates on that.
We got sent, or you got sent a little clip of an XXL magazine article saying that Gucci Mane and Jake Paul, the obnoxious YouTuber, are going to be working together. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't believe it. I thought it was Photoshop. I had to go to XXL's website and be proven, but it's happening, and there's a goddamn quote and video of Gucci Mane praising the boy.
So let's just play a quick little soundbite for the people. This is straight off the Jake Paul vlog featuring Gucci Mane.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to YouTube.
I'm sure that has great hits right now.
I'm sure it does. That's the thing.
You say what's up to the Jake Paulers, too?
Hey, man, shout out to all the Jake Paulers out there, man. From
Yo, I don't think they're ready for this track, though. They're not ready.
Nah, this song right here is a hit. Listen, if y'all sleeping on Jake Paul, y'all finna know I'm talking about we got a banger.
He knows his game. I mean, I wouldn't lie.
I have one question. How much money did it cost for that endorsement right there? Because Gucci
Crazy.
don't do that for free.
No.
No way. Gucci's not gonna rep some bad shit.
But
kid.
he did it.
But he did it. So what's happening here? Let's
I
break
mean,
it down.
getting the Gucci cosign is nuts. I don't
God.
know what. And the worst part is now I feel like I'm gonna listen to this song.
We're gonna listen to this song.
And I'm just baited hook, line, and sinker into this
Jebaited.
fucking trap. And hey, what up, Mr.
Mr.
Cat?
Cat's back from his date. He was on a date earlier on the porch. Hope it went well. But
It is. Whew, I don't know. The news is crazy. But moving right along, Injury Reserve releasing their second single for Drive It Like It's Stolen, coming out at the end of the month. New track called See You Sweat. Definitely the single I thought was going to be their first. Definitely sounded like what I'm expecting from Injury Reserve right now. Pretty
it was a smart move on their
crazy.
part.
Yeah, to just switch things up
Yeah.
with let's go with the mellow song first
Yeah.
and then bring in the hype, make you remember what they're all about.
Also, really sick video.
Crazy video. That shit's nuts.
Yeah.
Although I also feel like Griggs
Grog? Yeah, Grog.
got the short end of the stick. My man looks real uncomfortable in a lot of the shots.
Yeah.
Just in the pool, shirt on.
Yeah.
Just sweating his ass
I
off.
thought it was
Man's
pretty-
running on the treadmill.
I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was supposed to be purposely.
it's really funny.
Because Richie with the T was in the water and
Yeah, he's
stuff.
just chilling, and I'm like, oh, drugs.
But they also have that weird cut where they go and then they zoom in on that dude's crotch.
Yeah.
And I was very confused and to hide him. I thought it was really goofy. But yeah, I thought it was just it was a classic them song, and they just do really catchy songs that no one listens to.
Yeah,
So
not enough people are
right.
listening.
You're
Where
right.
y'all at? How many times we gotta tell you Injury Reserve is the shit? Stay woke.
Kind of still doing their kind of modernization of 2000 bangers, I guess. This sounded kind of like a Missy Elliott song.
Yeah.
Mr. Cat's
Mr. Cat's just rubbing his face on the mic.
all over
Yeah.
the chat.
I respect it.
Man.
Do you? Don't mind us.
But yeah, I thought it was really great. And just a quick note, just something I noticed. Remember, I was watching a video of this kid showing literally an 8-year-old. It's that kid I showed you guys earlier. That knew all
I love the
Trooper-
clout kid.
That kid, and he doesn't have a lot of views and stuff. And
He's just doing it for the culture.
Yeah, he's doing it for the culture. And he did a dad reacts to Injury Reserve video, and then he played a couple songs of theirs. And Injury Reserve actually commented on it.
No way.
And the dad was just like, "Oh, I really like this stuff, but I just wish it was they didn't curse as much." And then they said, "Don't worry, we're coming out with the censored version of the album."
Oh,
As a
wow.
comment. So that was an amazing comment.
That's
that I
so
saw.
Unreal.
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Damn.
But the video has 5,000 views. It's not a. So I thought that was really funny.
Hell
I thought it was
yeah.
really cool of them.
Man, shout out to Injury Reserve. What did you think of this
All
rap?
right, so as someone who's not a ride or die, just because I haven't had much exposure, I feel in the way that most people haven't had much exposure to Injury Reserve. Every time I've heard something and seen a video, I'm like, great, cool, this is awesome, I like it. It's good music, and I feel if they keep pounding out these solid hits with we listened to one a couple weeks ago on here, North Pole, shit was good, and they're consistently coming out with good content. I think. With this recipe, it's either a matter of time where they actually become notable and people are listening, or damn, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Which I want it to be the other way, and I think if they keep grinding away and putting out new stuff like this, they should do it. They're real good. I liked it a lot. This is a danceable song.
Yeah.
It's hip hop, and I can also get up and move.
Yeah, it's one. I think it's from that era where it was more dancing.
I like it a lot.
The early 2000s.
I hope the people start listening.
They're opening for somebody. I forgot, famous.
That's always good.
I forgot. I thought you would see Mark and you would remember, but I actually don't. So I fucked up.
I blew it.
Oh,
I just remember they were at
They posted
a
on
festival.
No, they're opening. They're going on a big tour with somebody.
Damn.
Somebody I was like, wow, that's so cool. I'll look it up in a quick second.
The exposure's gonna come. The exposure's gonna come. I believe in them for sure.
I think it'll happen. Absolutely. I'm not trying to doubt by any means. It's gonna happen.
Right.
They're good.
But yeah, shout outs to them. Shout outs to me meeting them at Cha Cha.
Wow, yeah, say that real quick again one more time.
But yeah, quick update on that story.
Please.
Yeah.
Update.
Well, no, just a retelling,
okay.
I guess.
I thought it was like there's a difference.
But yeah, saw Richie with the T and Grog over at Cha Cha in Silver Lake. Shouts out. It's a great little establishment. Emphasis on the little. Got him. But yeah.
Oh yeah, underachievers.
Underachievers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be a sick show.
That's
Shout
what.
outs to
Yeah.
everyone who
That's
got
what I
tickets to
saw.
that.
Yeah, that's gonna be. They're perfect for each other. That's a
Holy
good. That's a good.
That is
combo.
definitely true.
Shit might make me bust down like the new track from Trippie
It's
Redd, which is gonna appear on his upcoming project. Upcoming problem. Love Letters to You, coming out on October 6th. To you, buddy.
You shouldn't have.
Your biggest fan.
Oh man.
But yeah, new track from him, and I gotta say, petty beefs aside, all the shenanigans aside, I like the song a lot. I think it's fucking catchy. The beat's wild. I'm still loving his style. Yeah, he's just doing something new, and I think, like I said, I think as long as he keeps his shit together and stops wilding out and burning bridges, he's gonna be on this nice little path to, following in the steps of Uzi Vert and a lot of other guys right now, and really blow up sometime soon. So
yeah, I hope so. I mean, should I go into it first, Enrique? Or
let's get into it.
All right, so I feel like this was, to me, Quavo's song, but like better.
Yeah.
Like in the sense that like it's the same type of thing where it's like, I don't know, they sound very similar. Like the Quavo Stars in the Ceiling and then this song like have like a very similar sound, but I feel like the Trippie Redd one is like more current and like up to the date of like what at least SoundCloud and like that whole culture is sounding like. I love his melodies. I had a realization where I was like, man, it's so funny how like SoundCloud lyrics just go through seasons of being repetitive with different genres or like subjects, but like the melodies consistently change as time goes on, and I feel like Trippie Redd definitely has some nice little melodies, and I liked it a lot.
A lot, he says. Enrique, the person who's the odd one out on this one.
That's
what were your thoughts?
I didn't like it.
Yeah? No?
I
really?
didn't like it at all.
Did not convert you to Trippie Redd.
Really?
No, I didn't really like pay attention much to his previous songs, so I was like, wow, I really don't like this. Would I like any of his other stuff? So I clicked on the other songs, and even though I was on like totally sold on the other songs, I clicked on like the most watched ones. I don't remember the names. I was like, oh, these are more interesting. Like that's what I gathered. Yeah. I was like, this I think I tried listening to again, and I might get something out of it. But this song specifically, I was just like, I can't.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't know. Maybe it might be like a little Uzi Vert thing. Like he'll come out and then I'll start like getting it. But at the moment, I don't.
Not about it.
No, I don't. I just wouldn't. It just like sounds annoying to me.
Wow, fair and honest. I like that.
He sounded less like obnoxious to me in like the other songs, and they sound more interesting. The ones that I don't know, the bigger ones. That I clicked on that were related, just because I want to get consensus of like what his deal was, and to me I could like almost tell that this was not like a big song for him.
Right, this is new as shit.
It just their SoundCloud. It's a status
I'd be
update.
interested because it's different, so I would be interested. Like if there's another song come out, I would listen to it. Like even if we weren't in the podcast, I'd click on it and be like, I wonder where this is gonna go.
Hell yeah!
But at the moment, I would never come back to this.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of Red, Mr. Bompton himself, The Game, coming out of nowhere, dropping a new single on the anniversary of Tupac's death, September 13th, R.I.P., with a new track called "Is There Heaven for a Gangster?"
Is there?
Is there anything more West Coast?
Let's answer that question. Is there?
Well, Austin, what do you got to say about it?
Me,
Pal?
I'm starting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, The Game is back, doing exactly what The Game has always done since forever, and he's good at it. That's it. Man, this is just another Game song. I really like the little context of it being a Tupac shout-out. I thought it sounded exactly like a Game song. I thought it actually threw me off for a moment when I heard him talk about, like, Lil Uzi. And he had another SoundCloud person on there that
he said, I've been on Lil Yachty's.
Uzi, Yachty.
Took shots with Lil Uzi's.
Right. And there's somebody
got
else.
Got coke from the Migos and my bitch is bad and bougie.
Right. This guy, See, this guy knows. To hear, like, Mr. Cat, please, this is Twitch.
Don't get us banned.
Banned. All right, clean your legs up, my man. So to hear something so like relevant and current on a Game song blew my mind, and that was cool. But otherwise, I feel like he's just doing another Game song. So for the segment Hot or Not, I don't even think I can give it either. I'm just going to give it a nice, like, hey, man, respect. Because I respect the song. It wasn't made for me.
Yeah. I mean...
It was cool.
Kind of like what you said. It is pretty much just like a game-esque song. Like, I was like, yep, this is what the game would do. Kind of going off that point, though, I was a little annoyed by that one. Because he was basically saying, I fathered these guys.
But, like,
and I was like, you didn't. They sound nothing like you. They're not doing anything you're doing.
It's like
so
a
that was
different
like
genre.
obnoxious. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's the game doing what the game does.
I just thought he was hanging out with them, too.
Nah, he was like, I fathered sons and I fathered niggas. I did everything Lil Boat did and like all these people did. And I'm like, no.
Did you?
Oh, but I thought I said with. Like he was doing, like he was like.
Oh,
so
he's like,
implying, like.
Yeah, it was just like.
Okay.
Using their names in the lyrics.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, I mean, now I'm really thinking about it. It seems like more of a name top. Bad situation.
Yeah, it did seem like that.
Bad and poopy.
but I was like, it's
I thought
but it's fine. The beat's great.
I thought the beat was really good.
Beat's good.
I thought the beat was like it fucking like my bass was like that was a fucking notch. Like
the beat
it was
goes
really
hard.
sick. Yeah.
The beat goes
lyrically, it was like I mean there for a note to Tupac, I feel like there should be more from him than there was, or showcase a bit more emotion. I don't know. That seems like something very personal, especially for somebody that came from that area.
Yeah, the big Tupac allusions were like the Bible references.
That was a good Bible reference.
Yeah, you're right.
And like, is there a heaven for gangsta line? And that was pretty much the extent.
I don't know. I feel like I was told an ode to Tupac from him. I'm like, oh, what is he gonna say? Like what Tupac meant to him as like his whole life,
right?
Like what he meant and like what not. But it just seemed more like allusions to him rather than like an ode,
right?
So like, I guess I was just kind of underwhelmed by that. Overall, it's like it's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
But, like,
and I think it's for like a biopic or an upcoming like
The Tupac movie,
like documentary or something.
Oh, is it?
So
there's a Tupac movie, right?
There is also the context of it being like a soundtrack song too.
Okay.
So I guess
Is it
that
a soundtrack
explains.
song?
Yeah, it's some type of soundtrack for some show or documentary.
Yeah.
So I guess that explains maybe why he didn't go as in depth to his personal
I think
feelings.
also pointing out like the game trying like almost remain relevant. He was also on Lil Dicky's The Brain.
That's true. And speaking of which, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Lil Dicky's Brain came out with
the funniest feature.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
I was not prepared. For ladies and gentlemen, to give you some context here, the Lil Dicky, we talked about him earlier, and his little partner, The Brain, dropped his own EP as The Brain, and sure enough, the game is featured on the last song.
It's the last song.
The last song, and wow, it's something. The whole EP is a lot. There's a lot to break down with it. I mean, obviously there's quotables, obviously there's silly shit, and then there's just a whole lot of what I'll call the wild quotables. I mean, you have like just him dropping the hard F slur for no reason at the end of the first song.
Lil Dicky?
Yeah. Not even as The Brain, too, which was like unnecessary. Oh, wait, no, it was The Brain. My bad.
Whoa.
But then there was like the weird like reveal where he's like, I don't eat pussy because 85% of dudes have like mouth herpes or some shit. So if I eat out a girl, I'm giving her my mouth herpes, and then if I fuck her, I'll get herpes. I was like, what is this crazy? Like, I was like, what is this fuckboy shit? So we in 2017, you ain't eating box, Lil Dicky. But
Come on, man.
Obnoxious.
Get with the shits.
But I mean, I don't know. It's a silly EP. It's ridiculous.
To me, it kind of like as a person who's can kind of like sometimes he can like I'm like, oh, this is kind of funny, and other times it comes off as kind of like fratty, like dude humor.
Yeah.
And this whole EP came off like the side I don't like.
Right.
Or, like,
exactly.
So yeah, it just came off like an Adam Sandler rap album type thing. And even though I love the covers, I think the cover's hilarious. Yeah. I think this brain picture, just like this malformed, horrible CGI brain. And I hope that's on purpose because it's hilarious. Because it's such a funny, like, the art is just like the little brain and like the white space and stuff. And that made me laugh. And the fact that he put the game on a track with him, which is just so funny. Like, those are the only two things I think I particularly thought were funny and enjoyable to me. The rest of it was just like, I don't know, it just felt like just him trying to do gross out wild things, just like shock value the whole time, rather than like real jokes and like or like I don't know, poignant interesting observations or it wasn't Yeah, for me, I guess it seemed like this would appeal more to his like more fratty, like broy audience.
100%. And I think you nailed it completely because just some context here. Posted that this album came out. Barstool Sports, which is like frat boy front page. And yes, I have it like just to like see that opinion, just like what are the frat boys up to these days? So I saw that they posted it, and I was like, yep, of course they did.
Can I say something real quick about Barstool Sports? I hope they're listening. Fuck Barstool Sports.
Fuck them.
So here's the actual quick tiny story off hip hop topic. Man, when the Red Sox won the World Series, I was at the celebration outside the thing. They didn't steal your clip, did they? No, worse. That's fine. Well, a little. So basically, I get a video of a car getting flipped right outside Fenway Park. I post it online, and then Barstool Sports has the audacity to say, like this guy is ruining the culture of Boston. We're not like this. Like, how dare you post this video and make Boston look bad? Like, we're good people. I literally just took a video, didn't say anything, and uploaded it.
Wow.
And they're like, this guy ruined the reputation and the celebration of the game. Like, tonight was about the Red Sox winning the game, and this guy decided to put a video online.
Film what people were doing.
He made Boston look bad. And I was like, all right, fuck off with that wild-ass opinion.
That's the fucking...
Fuck out of here.
The people who flipped a fucking car.
Yeah,
yell at them.
Look bad.
Like, what? I don't know. Anyways,
that's
fuck
such a
Barstool
twisted
Sports.
logic. It was like, yo, it's just showing the bad thing. I was like, that thing shouldn't
wild.
happen.
Dude, the whole game was on fucking TV.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to see the good thing, turn on the TV. It's going to be on tomorrow on the news.
Well, yep, and that's who's really pushing this Brain EP. So let that be a context of the type of stuff you're getting here. I mean, obviously there's some classic quotable balls. Some quotables and some silly shit. I don't know. I enjoyed Cocaine and the game song, but it was definitely
the joke of cocaine wore off so quickly.
That's true,
just
also.
Like cocaine.
And I was just like, But
the game one was just funny because the game's on it.
Just it existing.
I think also just like the idea of just Lil Dicky with like just like hard rappers, like with Rich Homie Quan on that song and stuff. Just like he picks like the funniest people.
It's so fucking silly.
And that does get me. But then the rest of it, I'm just very frustrated, and I'm like, this is. I like at least his like normal stuff is like a bit more higher brow, but this is just like the worst parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's disappointing.
Not much higher brow, but like a more interesting.
Yeah. Definitely not what I wanted from like a full Brain project. I thought it was gonna bring out the best of Lil Dicky. It did not. But...
Yeah. I was hoping it'd be a like nice little platform to be him like really show off some good talent.
Unique, interesting shit.
Something new, something good, interesting, something that contributes to the conversation of hip hop. Yeah. But now he just showed up.
Yep.
He showed up and made like a really.
It just had an excuse to
say
wild shit.
Dude just showed up in a bathrobe.
Just showed up and was like, "Hey, I'm not eating pussy," and then bounced.
Come on, man.
But anyway,
it's 2018. Get with it.
Hey, Ryan. Anyway, let's move on to our hip hop news headlines of the week. Starting things up with Rhapsody, who I personally started caring about after she hopped on the Kendrick song back on his To Pimp a Butterfly album. Had an amazing feature verse.
Her verse is really, really good.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, who is this? Rhapsody. All right, I'm going to remember that name. And then she popped up again in Anderson .Paak's latest project on a song that samples fucking Hiatus Coyote. Shout-outs to them.
Wow, cool.
But again, another amazing verse. And I was like, damn, shout-outs to her. And now she's coming out with a new album called Layla's Wisdom. Excuse me. Featuring Kendrick, Anderson .Paak, BJ the Chicago Kid, and Busta Rhymes. I checked out one of her songs, You Should Know, 6-minute wild song, and it definitely just confirmed everything I was feeling. It made me feel like, damn, I'm really excited to finally hear a project from her and kind of see what she's all about.
She has projects.
Yeah, but this is going to be the first one I'm officially going to dive into.
Okay.
Right.
So,
yeah, she's been killing it on features. She's also on Absol's album, and she's really good on that.
Oh, that's right.
And I think I learned about her before To Pimp a Butterfly because I think Absol was interviewed on his favorite rapper currently, and he said Rhapsody.
Damn.
And then I was like,
wow.
who's that? And then I looked her up, and I was like, oh, she's really good. And then she showed up in To Pimp a Butterfly, and she like killed it.
Yeah.
She had like the J-Rock verse of To Pimp a Butterfly, the one where you're like, whoa, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, but yeah, I thought the song was good too.
Yeah.
And it was like, It's a strange song.
It's a lot. Are her and Busta Rhymes fucking? Like, is that what's happening with Busta Rhymes? Wild, sexually explicit verse later on in the 5 minutes into the song.
Yeah. He just transitioned to a new little. It's like the Busta Rhymes like little little sidebar.
Just full on. I love you so much.
Let's fuck.
Yeah, let's fuck right now after I'm done recording this. That shit was wild. And speaking of wild, A$AP Rocky promising us a new album ASAP. And doing it with a very interesting role. I don't know if you guys saw this. I actually brought it up just because, like, the picture is so weird to me. But my man posted it on his Twitter with a little Forbes article also in the thumbnail. And I was like, is this right? Is this what he was meant to do? Hasn't changed it. Hasn't acknowledged it. But new album coming soon. Picture of a little crash test dummy in a Forbes article.
What?
So I was just baffled. I was like, that is on his
about?
Twitter. That's like not even from like a news article. That is just
Is it trying to say like strapping folks?
Maybe buckle up. This is gonna be crazy.
Hell?
But I was just like, what?
Just in the chat.
I was just like, what is this? Yeah, chat. Get ready for this shit.
Get ready for this fucking link.
The article says what the obesity is. What does it say?
It's like what the obesity level is doing to them or something. And
it's a yellow crash test dummy with a fucking seatbelt wrapped across him.
It's just some wild ass shit, and I was very confused. But yeah, new album coming soon. Y'all think it's gonna be hot? Y'all think it's gonna be butt? What are you thinking of A$AP Rocky's lyricism these days?
I feel like A$AP Rocky is a legend, and that's where it's gonna remain. I feel like his time musically, and I hope I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong. I sadly feel like it passed. I feel like he is on his downswing of making solid music, and on his upswing of being considered like a legend. So I hope it's good. I really, really do. But nothing recently has been like, whoa. Everything is gold.
I feel like a legend seems like a bit much.
I think he's putting himself in the position of legend, like I brought up last week, where I was talking about like Snoop Dogg and that whole thing.
Like he's trying to tailor that, but wouldn't he have to put out more good music to
make
that
did
happen?
Snoop Dogg? I mean, Snoop Dogg just ended up featuring on everybody and their sister.
But then he came back with the Pharrell comeback and stuff.
Right, with Pharrell. Like, I feel like he's going to jump on other people that are still relevant rather than, like, being a name for himself solely.
Well, no, Snoop Dogg was still just Snoop Dogg. Pharrell just, like, they combined to make it an album.
Right.
People weren't. What the
fuck's the name of that album?
The one with the fucking.
Like
it's the one with
2000 like.
Drop It Like It's Hot.
Yeah, but I feel like that was still Snoop Dogg prime. I feel like.
Okay. No, because he had fallen off for a period of time.
True, he definitely did.
And then he came back, and then I think that kind of like.
With Drop It Like It's Hot and that whole era, I feel like he was still on, and then he got into his like sexual seduction shit, and then like he kind of
really went crazy,
going down.
And they showed up in a shit ton of movies.
Right, and that's how I feel where A$AP Rocky's at. Is he's past his Drop It Like It's Hot, and he's going on the downswing, but he's going to continue to be a legend, and people are going to be like, oh, A$AP Rocky's cool. And I don't know, I could be very wrong, and I hope I am. I want the good music era to continue.
Well, it's just like interesting because I think my point being was that, like, you know, there's like a Doggy Style, which is like the first thing Snoop Dogg put out, which is big, or like The Chronic with Dr. Dre, right? So it's like these two things solidified Snoop Dogg as like, oh, he's a really interesting guy. Then some albums afterwards, they're all like pretty like considered like pretty good, but not like masterpieces like the former two.
Right.
And then like he dropped off for a period of time, but then with Pharrell, he created like a new sound and whatnot. And perhaps if he is falling into like this little rut right now, maybe like 2-4 years after, maybe if this album sucks or is okay, he A$AP Rocky might have like a Pharrell type person. He might I'll have that happen.
Yeah, and I feel like with the way he's networking in hip hop, like it's gonna happen. And like I feel like that's a much better like possibility than, you're right, him really like being on the downswing now. I think he is in a rut, but I think if he can get like way up there again, and continue to make good music like we know he can, his potential's gone nowhere. He still has so much potential to be great.
Yeah, I guess also the other thing to relate with Snoop Dogg is that the majority of A$AP Rocky's rapping is just, I'm cool. Like, that's it. That's like basically what Snoop Dogg does. It's like, I'm cool. Like, I do cool shit.
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder, I'm cool.
That's
just let everybody know one more time.
But he's really good at saying it.
Right.
That's what he always does. And perhaps if he changes it up, it could create something interesting with this album. We don't know. But if he doesn't, I think he would fall in a rut where people would just be like, "Oh, same shit again, huh?" And
I'm
then,
rooting
like,
for him.
People like some maybe won't get, some will get radio play if he puts like. I mean, he has Kendrick. He has like a no wait. Does he have Kendrick? Does they announce like what's gonna be on this album?
I don't think we have a track list yet. I don't know what it's gonna be called.
It's probably gonna have a lot of crazy people on it.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm actually having a completely like opposite opinion here, where I'm like, I thought A$AP Rocky's last project was like his best, with Lord Pretty Falco, Jody, and a lot of those other LSD, the one with Lil Wayne, but just a lot of good songs on that. Yeah. And so I feel like, if anything, it's just been that he hasn't done anything in a bit. He's just been hanging around with a lot of people. So I just feel like we haven't gotten this A$AP being bad. We just had him doing a lot of features and just being out there. So I'm curious to see what like solo A$AP is gonna sound like again. And so I'm much more like hopeful in terms of we'll see where he goes from here. And then if it's bad, then I'm like I don't know. But I'm definitely we'll see.
I don't think bad is what's gonna happen. I don't think he makes
I agree.
I think it's just gonna be like at best
average.
Like, at worst like average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. Rocky solo could be exciting because it has only been like feature stuff recently.
What was it? The last Dallas album came out 2 years ago.
Like longer than that.
No, it was a while.
2 years ago.
It was like 3 years.
We were in college.
We were living in Austin. I remember.
Yeah. So like junior, maybe senior year.
Okay, but that's only like a year and a half ago. 2 years.
2 years. 2 years of his senior, 3 years of his junior. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm curious.
I hope it's a good thing. I really do.
And speaking of what are they gonna do next, Ugly God got on his Instagram story and just completely blew me out of the water with a new post. I had basically just been sitting around on my Instagram checking Insta stories per usual. And I come across Ugly Gods ready for just like a meme or something silly, him and his girlfriend, something like that.
From Owl City.
But instead I get the fucking like XXX Tentacion, like, fucking big essay over black text. Basically laying out the realest I've ever seen Ugly God be and the most serious I've ever seen him take himself. But basically, he gives up this big essay where he's like, look, I had a talk with some person, and he was like, I just can't keep making these like joke songs all the time, and I want to show the people that there's some depth to me, that I'm very versatile in my rapping. I can do a whole lot of things. So he's basically saying that he wants to try to move into some different avenues with his upcoming official debut, because I guess the booty tape doesn't count in his mind or whatever. Anyway, ignoring that, but in his official debut, he's gonna be really trying a whole bunch of new things, and he wants us to really just ride with the more serious Ugly God and see where it takes him.
Man, I'm so interested into like what that like really means. But I also think he's got a really incredible point, and I'm really excited by this post that showed up on Instagram stories. I feel like Instagram stories is such a great place for artists to just like be real and honest
and
with
lay
like,
it all
these
out.
Weird text posts that do disappear, which is nice. So I feel like Ugly God is exactly right in that he very much can be considered a meme rapper, and I feel like that was my biggest critique of him on the booty tape. Like, as someone who's seen Ugly God and I would consider myself a fan, I was disappointed in the booty tape because there wasn't any substance. I think it was all goofy, like wild SoundCloud, funny, sucking toes, booty stuff, and it was memes, and it was good. And I do think like Ugly God has the potential to be like non-meme content and have some actual depth and whatnot. So I'm proud of him for sticking up for himself and being like, hey man, I'd like to have an emotional connection with my fans, because right now I just don't.
Right.
Because as someone who's a fan, I have no emotional connection to Ugly God. There's nothing, like if he, I don't know, like I don't know, I don't like empathize with him heavily. And I'm excited for that. No, I wasn't even close to that.
I wouldn't care.
If he died, I would
I'd be like,
well,
fuck him.
Damn.
Damn savage.
F's in the chat. That's, pay respects. But no, I really hope he like is able to achieve his goal of creating like a emotional connection with his audience, because he deserves it. I think he's a good boy, a nice little Luigi guy.
And I was very interested with the aspect of him wanting to be taken more seriously, because he did bring up a good point. He was like, yo, I went to like college on an academic scholarship and
smart.
like did a lot of shit. So he's like, I know I just like fuck around all the time, but I'm like a genuine, real smart person too, and I want to be more taken more seriously, and I'm interested in the steps he's going to take to get that to happen with his next project. That's going to be real interesting.
Alright, so as in the words of Ugly God, fuck Ugly God. And let's move on to the next thing.
All right. Well, speaking of jokes and memes, Tyler the Creator's new show, well, not new, but Tyler the Creator showed The Jellies, which was formerly a Gulf Media exclusive, is now coming to Adult Swim on October 22nd. He released a wacky Tyler-esque trailer, and I don't know. What do you guys think? You excited for this show? You think it's gonna be funny? What are you expecting?
I'm excited to watch it a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched one of the videos and it was like explaining one of the characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this doesn't look fun. And then there was the actual trailer that came out 5 days ago, and I was like, all right, this looks kind of hype. But the difference was one had Tyler and one didn't. I liked the one with Tyler in it. The one without Tyler, I was like, wow, this looks like Tyler, but it's not him, and something's weird about it. But I hope it's really good. I've never seen it on Golf Media. I don't subscribe to that as much as like I love to support the boy. I've already bought enough of his clothes and seen enough of his shows.
Can I just say I was so mad when Golf Media came out.
Like, man,
I was like, you want me to play monthly for your like not like a big Netflix where they have a bunch of shit coming in, but just subscribe money to buy only your content. And I feel like there's no way you got like your money's worth, because there was like the radio show.
I feel like it was like a fan fall off.
Jellies
too.
And like
because
one other thing.
Putting up like a paywall and a pay block, like I've always been a big Tyler fan, but as soon as Golf Media came out, I was like, man, I guess I'm really not connected like I want to be.
Yeah.
And like it kind of took me out of the game. I don't know, it's like $5 a month.
5 or almost 10 a month.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, man, I'll do that for a Twitch streamer that streams every day, 6 days a week. Like, sure. But, like, to get, like, I don't know, maybe one video and an article a month that used to come at me for free on Tumblr, damn, disappointing, sad. And I do think the paywall, like, kind of had a lot of fans fall off. But also, gotta do it. I think the Patreon model is the future of, like, supporting good content.
Right.
It just sucks when you're the first one to do it, you take a fall.
Yeah. But
I don't know. At the same time, Tyler's always growing bigger. Like weirdly.
Yeah.
It's maybe he shaved off like a certain.
Oh, he's
section.
gotten bigger, but I think his like hardcore like Wolfgang loyalty is kind of like cut by that. Because like I'll stand in line on Black Friday in high school for 6 hours, but I can't pay you $10 a month, my guy. I'm trying to eat myself.
Yeah, that shit was just like crazy.
And I hate that I can't feel like a real fan because I don't have the wallet to do so.
I can't think of anything I would pay $10 a month for as a fan.
Yeah.
But, like, they'd have to be like somebody I was like real like, and they're struggling. Like I'd have to know that they're like, damn, they're not gonna get a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, but like I know Tyler's making fucking millions.
Bank off those clothes.
So no worries.
Those shirts are like $40.
They're not cheap.
Speaking of people who make a lot of money, Lil Uzi Vert, Marilyn Manson could be teaming up for a project and a possible collab on the way?
It's true.
Hype.
Lil Uzi Vert is up to a lot. He's apparently dropping collab albums left and right. One with Marilyn Manson. The two of them have been buddy.
Are they saying collab album?
Oh yeah. Don't forget, Marilyn Manson raps, as proven with his track with Gucci Mane.
That's true.
I have not heard that. Holy
They
hell.
have a song together. You want to know what it's called?
Uh-huh.
Pussy's Wet.
Good.
It's wild. It's a banger.
Jesus.
It's a banger. So I'm excited to see what an Uzi Marilyn Manson collab album is going to be like. And not only are we getting that, but we're possibly getting an Uzi Carti tape as well. So the man is just...
That'd be wild.
You think the man, after selling 100,000 plus albums, would be chilling.
Prediction, we're going to get one song from Marilyn Manson. We're not going to get an album. I'm just going to say that. That's not going to happen.
Wow.
What else is he
Marilyn Manson,
doing?
Lil Uzi album. No, collab albums. I think we had a discussion. Collab albums are all hype and they don't come out.
That's fair.
Wow.
That's fair.
And I really don't think this is all just like they'll have one song, people get hype about it, and then they won't do anything.
That's fair.
Man.
And it'll increase both their profiles, and then they don't have to put the effort or like the risk, and that's it.
You're super
Breaking down.
right. That's a social media play. Because right now I'm about to go follow Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And speaking of social media plays, Danielle Bergoli, aka
Catch Me Outside.
How about that?
How about Mr. Cat?
Is making crazy moves and just, I don't know, doing her best to just make me salty about her success. But you know what? At this point, fuck it. I'm happy for it, right? Here we go, right?
I like that you have to have a stance on this, Mark.
Because
you can just be neutral.
You have to.
No, I have to have a stance.
Because she's actually entered hip hop.
Yeah,
Legitimately.
I can't just coast anymore. She's here.
With the royalties.
She's officially been signed to Atlantic Records. And you sent me her Rollin' Peace remix.
Yeah.
I listened to it.
I wanted to hate it.
I literally
loved it.
I literally,
So good.
I literally put it on the first
Pissed.
time and went from like this, and then got maybe about 15, 20 seconds in, and I was like, and by like a minute, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
damn, ooh. I mean, there was just like legitimate bars in there. There was a lot of interesting personal stuff about how she's been dealing with this shit.
It was
and
very like I went,
Woohoo!
whoa, what just happened?
Boy's trying to go alpha right now. You
Damn,
can tell.
square
He's been in
up.
a wild mood all day.
What happened?
I don't know, nothing. I was just looking at him, and he just like had the crazy eye. Sometimes he has the crazy eye. He didn't hurt me at all, but like, damn,
Square
Mr. Kyle
up.
go nuts.
Shit's getting real on this stream, y'all.
I think he hates the Catch Me Outside girl just as much as we do.
But
I
no, I mean,
But I don't hate her anymore.
I don't think I ever hated her, but I remember when as soon as that track came out and I listened to it, I was just like, Mark's gonna. This is gonna be funny because Mark's gonna kind of like this.
And I was like,
I
shit. I was
sent
like,
it to Mark.
It's
I mean, we
good.
talked about all these grown-ass adults not having depth in their music, and then she comes in and she brings up addressing a lot of things that has been going on with her personal life. TMZ, her mom, her dad, her missing dad, like all these things get brought up, and she's just like hitting out bars, like saying I've been disrespectful, giving my mother hell, FY we doing well, the mortgage is secure, all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, chill. Just doing way too well for a 14-year-old rapper.
Also, I mean,
I also want to point
so
out,
good.
not to cut you off, but I also want to point out that she JoJo'd me. Because you know what I was definitely going to talk about right off the rip?
Shigeki?
Well, no, I was going to talk about her age, and I was going to talk about her race. And she was like, first thing I want to talk about age.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Wow,
I was like,
got him.
damn it. And I was like, dang it, you knew.
Yeah, they said it before you could.
Yeah, and I was like, damn it.
That's a classic play. I feel like the only thing, and there are accusations of ghostwriting on her part.
Oh,
That's fair.
absolutely.
That's fair.
And it's really fair. It's like, to be honest, listening to it, I'm like, wow, the amount of self-awareness and like introspection she would have to make this song is, I don't know, it just seems really odd to me.
Right?
Of her having that type of like, I don't know, just suddenly. Like,
No, she's definitely. I feel like she's definitely media pushed. It's someone else writing, unfortunately.
maybe it's a collab.
It
I
could
hope
be.
it's a
It could
collab.
be industry post because, like I said, she secured
But
the
also,
fucking record label
evidence,
deal already.
Receipts. As soon
Also,
as
Atlantic
Catch Me Outside-
Records is fucking
Shady.
money central
Yep.
too.
True. I mean, and based on receipts, like as soon as Catch Me Outside happened, she was on the Vine game for like 3 seconds, and then she became a YouTuber, which she didn't make her own videos. She was definitely media produced as far as YouTube goes. So I feel like that same production team said, hey, these videos aren't working. What do we move you into next? Which is like a different team. But her actual voice on the song is like fire as hell. So it's tough because like...
I think it's because her voice and like, was it Kodak Black have kind of like this shrill, like high-pitchedness that like a Kodak Black song kind of would fit with her voice.
It would. That's
And
why she's in the video.
That's why it kind of works.
It just makes sense, and it sounds great. It sounds too good. I definitely could see the argument for industry plant and really trying to push her out there, but we'll see. If she's really writing her own shit, kudos, because for a 14-year-old, that's crazy, and it was far better than I expected.
Yeah, she has 11.3 million followers.
Yeah,
That's
so,
crazy.
Now I have to keep an eye on her. Now I just have to accept that she's going to be out here. I mean, she's already on the fucking Billboard charts, so she's going to be here for a little bit.
She's making a lot of smart calls. I don't know whether or not she's listening to certain people or she herself is making those calls.
Mm-hmm.
And if she continues doing this, she could be like somebody, like a Kim Kardashian type in the
Yeah.
future, or
Absolutely.
something like that. Like, I don't know, many of like the dumb pitfalls so far, none of like, I feel like she did, okay, basically what she did was do something really, really stupid, and then that everyone starts paying attention, and then she's, from then on, has been very, very smart about everything.
Right.
Which is like the classic play to get big. Like, you just do something really embarrassing and dumb, but then
Flip it and reverse
but
it.
the fact that she was like instantaneously able to flip it is
Right.
like crazy.
It's nuts.
And I don't know, maybe she might. I don't the amount of either people controlling her or her listening to people to like follow it, because a lot of people blow up before this point. So I don't know. She might be here for a while, as you said. Yeah.
She might have some staying power. We shall see.
She's gonna last.
But alas, it's time for reviews, and Austin, who had been too busy this week, we're gonna put you to the sideline.
No, please. So I'll just say it myself. So I've been crazy busy. Life is really good.
That's not my fault.
I can't complain in the slightest, but I am so insanely busy.
Say sorry to Open Mic and the Cool Kids.
I want to apologize directly, and I hope you guys see this. You guys are watching. I know you guys love Mondo Cool. The Cool Kids, Open Mic Eagle. I apologize. I didn't listen to your album, and I feel like right now I'm just going to run the keyboard and let the boys talk, because it's not fair to you. Your music's probably fire and fun, but I can't give it a rating half-assed, you know? I want to respect the art. It's up to the boys.
All right. Well,
next week.
Start things off with the Cool Kids, the power couple from the mid-2000s, finally reuniting for their big comeback album, Special Edition Grandmaster Deluxe, with a nice little intro from Hannibal Buress. The boys are back, and let me say, I won't call it a disappointment, but I don't know. It definitely wasn't everything I expected, where I did get the things that I wanted. There were plenty of quotables, a lot of fun, a lot of good times to be had.
I think I know exactly what you're going to say.
Well, the production just wasn't there for me on a lot of the songs. It's very hit or miss.
No, I think I don't know, maybe our issues are different, but like, I remember the first 7 songs. I was like, I liked all. I was like, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it's not necessarily. I don't think it's the production. It's the production, but it's not necessarily like because it's like, oh, it's similar sounding or just a shittier version of former things.
Right.
They just went to new genres.
Yeah.
Like they went to.
I was just like, where are you guys going with this?
And it's like 4 tracks.
Yep.
And they're long.
As fuck.
And they don't. They almost feel like features on their own song. And the thing is, they're great features, but they don't feel like Cool Kids songs.
Right. They seem out of place on their own song, and it's very weird and just jarring.
I feel like if I just deleted those songs, I'd be very pleasantly.
Right.
Like everything I wanted out of this, I would have like maybe a couple more like less like hype tracks and just more about their lives and whatnot. Because the last one was Too Smooth. Not this one.
Grateful.
Grateful.
Yeah, because that's when it comes back again. When I'm like, oh, Grateful. I like this. And
Grateful.
Too Smooth was cool.
Yeah, Grateful and Too Smooth were the ones that Grateful specifically. I was like, wow, I wanted more of this. But I don't know. I don't know why. Because like, there's a lot of these great bangers at the beginning, and they're awesome. Like they're like
great tracks. But I was like, yep, cool. We're back at it.
These are songs I'm gonna go back to and listen to because they're really catchy. They're really funny.
Plenty of quotables. They're both Surf Like Lapras.
Yeah, Surf Like Lapras. Oh man, what's the whole thing for the opening?
Oh,
it's like,
fuck.
I got like off chart something. Fuck.
Yeah, off map something.
Offshore.
Yeah, offshore or something. Damn.
It's so good. It's
a great hook.
Yeah, and then there's some other great ones too, and like I think they're just such a good pair because you have like kind of like the stern and kind of like really funny but kind of deadpan Chuck English, and then you have like the wild boy Sir Michael Rocks coming up with like these wild voices,
crazy
and, like,
shenanigans,
and really silly flows. And like he's just like generally silly, and then while Chuck English is more like kind of like more of a observational like funny person.
Yeah.
And I think they work so good on so many songs, but then it's just like I don't know why they decided to take this direction. Like to be honest, because it's from Jeremiah forward. I feel
of just weird genres that they don't sound right. West Side Connection, where they do a G-Funk song.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Like I thought it was kind of fun. That one I thought was like a joke song. I would have taken that. But then there's like the motion, and then the birthday song, which is like funny too. But it's just like
because
it goes into like Lil B territory.
It's just a very weird, obnoxious beat. But then there's like a part where Sir Michael Rocks has some amazing quotables that like almost saved it for me.
No, the thing is that's what happens because they say certain things that are just like, wow, that's hilarious, or that was so funny. It's like I wish there was more of you in this song. Like
I'm just like, that's why it was tough for me because there's always something that like took me out of it and like made me not like it. But there was like a quotable that made me happy.
In theory, though, if I cut out like all these songs, there would still be like 12 songs, and I would have been like, "Wow, this is great." That would have happened, right?
Right.
But they're just there, and I don't know what the intentions are. Like I don't know what they're. Was it a joke? Was it because they're trying to get some radio play with Jeremiah on a song? Like,
I don't know.
It's like because they have like a Bruno Marsy like song.
It's just
and like
very
discussing
odd.
it's just like funny because just like why the fuck did this happen? There's songs I swear I don't hear either of them for like 2 minutes.
For a while, it's
like,
very much like the other person's sound.
Like the Sid song, it was like just a Sid song with the Cool Kids, which is not something I dislike, but it's weird.
It's very weird and not what you expect, especially for their big comeback album where you want more of the Cool Kids.
Yeah, but then again, there's like I think enough songs of the Cool Kids where I'm happy, kinda. Yeah. So like I guess I just want more emotional variety, but in terms of catchy songs, they came back full force, and it's like their sound but more refined. From like if you look at their older stuff, it just seems like it's like poppier and like there's more energy, and it's awesome. Especially like the first song, I think is so good.
Right.
And yeah, it's just like it falls in that point where I want to give it. I really want to give it cool, so it just falls in the night because like some of these songs are like legit songs I will play for a while, like the first song and like I like Check Out. I like a lot. I listen to what is it 2020 Vision. I like the the Rage Against the Machine like song.
The one with Travis Barker.
Yeah. I kind of like that song too. Get Out the Bowl. Like all these were fun, and like I would listen to them again. But then as soon as it hit the Jeremiah track, I would just stop it. Like I just
be like, all right, I'm
and
out.
then I kind of skip to the end. Like, yeah, and I don't know what they're. What do you think they're trying to appeal mainstream? Like, what do you think they're trying to do here?
I think they just wanted to take a lot of risks. They probably were having a lot of fun in the studio and just went for it and was hoping for the best, and it just didn't really work out.
Everything that feels like Cool Kids
is great,
and it it sounds like a natural evolution, and it sounds like the tracks sound different too. Right. But then there's just songs that sound different genres,
and all of those
and consecutively, like it's like 4. It's like a G-Funk track. There's like the reggae song. There's like the house song. Like,
and all of those were mostly a miss for me. Like I just was not fucking with them, and it really took me out of the album where there was just a string of songs in a row. Where I was just like, "Where are you guys going?"
But then they're really funny on them too.
That's
like,
true.
But I don't want to listen to 4 minutes just to hear like a funny minute or Cause like what was it? There's one where Sir Michael Rocks picks up like the phone. Like he picks up the phone and then he says, "Oh, that's your name? Change it."
You should change it. I think it's TDA. It's like the dumb house song.
He's like, you should just fucking change it.
Oh, that's what your name is? You should change it.
And he's like, I'm just kidding. Like he goes into his verse, and I was like, that's so silly. But this song is so fucking weird.
And that's like, I want to say like 4 minutes. It's
like
really
it's
long
like 3 minutes in that song. But it's also hilarious. Like it's such a dumb birthday song.
It's really obnoxious, and I'm upset because I feel like.
It's like I can hear the running from the bathroom.
Sorry about that. Little spills. Sorry, folks.
But yeah, and like, I don't know, I was upset too because I felt like this was Chuck English sounds great. Like when he's really going for it, he has 100% leveled up his bars and his lyricism. So I was happy to have that. And going into the early parts of the album, I was like, damn, the Cool Kids are sounding great. They're firing on all cylinders. And then they just hop into some uncharted territory for them, and it just did not work for me, and I was really sad to have that happen. But like you said, I wanted it to be a cool so bad, maybe even a Mondo, but it's definitely just gonna be an alright for me.
Yeah, it's like a high because like there's songs like legit. Like I would tell people to listen to it. Just skip the songs that I don't know. I'm still asking you. What do you? Just them having fun in the studio? You think that's it?
Yeah.
But Jeremiah specifically is a play, right? Because he's like a mainstream dude.
Yeah, like he's got, and I feel like when do they hang out? You know, like when does Jeremiah and them hang? I could possibly see them hanging out with Boldy James, who also I was like, wow, Boldy James.
I liked them on the song.
Name in
I
a
think
while.
that song. I thought it was a fine song.
Yeah, no, that was still part of the good
I thought that was a good collab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Boldy James is forever.
But yeah, Barry, Boldy Jones.
But yeah,
Larry
Cool
June.
Kids. I guess I don't know. Not necessarily stick in your lane, but don't fucking jump into like
don't veer off into the
oncoming traffic into like. And just, I don't know, dude. Like, also, if you're gonna switch genres, own them, and don't just feel like you're like a sideline to it.
Right.
Because that's what it felt like. You didn't even own the songs, and I think that's partly why it was a miss a lot of times. Because I feel like if you owned it, I could at least maybe give you like, oh, this is cool.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but like, it's kind of fun just to see him like try out something different.
For sure.
And I think the point of it maybe was because it was kind of refreshing to hear something different after like a couple tracks. Mm-hmm. But then like, this is refreshing, and that was like a solid like 20 seconds until like I was like, all right, where are we going here? Like, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like this is high.
Yeah.
Like, but they're definitely like songs here I consider like Mondo cool songs.
Right.
Like where I'm like, wow, this is a fucking sick song, and I will play this again. So, yeah, that it falls in that territory for Enrique.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think they have a formula that can be great. They didn't stick to it, and they should have. But overall, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty mid to high for me. I hope they can work out the kinks, spend more time with each other, really figure out what works and what doesn't,
and more emotional stuff. Because
Grateful was great.
It is, and I think Sir Michael Rocks does like the first song off is like solo stuff.
Yep,
was like pretty emotional and good. And
oh
like
yeah, man. Thinking of Sir Michael Rocks' solo stuff makes me a little sad too for what this could have been.
Yeah, I felt like his solo stuff was more like cohesive.
Yeah,
and thematically and stuff and fun but also having like depth to it.
Yeah,
like the whole sound was like kind of like was it Banco?
Banco, yeah.
Had this like very trippy kind of like hippie. Internet-y sound to it.
It was very like cloud rap, which was still popping in the time.
Yeah, it was like cloud rap, but also kind of like.
There was some hardcore shit. Like Kill Switch has that pretty South Florida sound to it, especially with like Puya and Rob Banks being on it.
Yeah, but it always sounded like kind of like internet and kind of like ethereal, like.
It was Tumblr aesthetic for sure.
Yeah. It was like, but it sounded like a full thing to me. Yeah. And this almost was there, but then it just like veered.
It veers off.
Yeah, I could do like a fucking like the 180 to some other place, like, and yeah. I don't know what
type of place where you're looking around and you're like, where the?
I don't know.
Fuck
I try to explain it. I know I've come back to this a lot because it's just so weird.
Right.
And I was just like, I was looking at the name and I was like, Special Edition Grandmaster Deluxe. Right, and I was like thinking, was this trying to mean like a lot of special edition grandmat like stuff like this? They're just like these like bonus tracks are like ridiculous, and then they're just like the joke is that they just like this is so special edition that we're just gonna fucking go off and do weird shit.
Kinda, I actually know what he's going for with this one. I mean, one, he's talked about it, and two, I get it because I'm in it. But Sir Michael Rocks is a big Street Fighter fan, right? Okay, and as people who know about Street Fighter know is there's Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha X, EX, and then Ultra, blah blah, and it's like been made a joke. So part of it was like that, were just like add-ons and DLCs, and they just thought it was like funny and like wanted to do that. Yeah. So that definitely adds to it, but that might also explain why they wanted to just like throw in all these different types of songs and just have like these crazy additions to just one album, so it's just
like Street Fighter. You think like they add just more and more stuff?
I think that's where they like definitely came up with like the title, but I think you do make a valid point where then they like took that theme and applied it to like the music. Where like let's just make like crazy side projects within our own album. Yeah, just make all these crazy bonus tracks and put it in the thing. Because
it definitely reminded me of the Little B album.
Right.
Like, when he went up,
we were just like, where are we going next?
And it's hilarious, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. It just as a whole, it's just the fact that I feel like if they made a separate EP of this stuff, I'd be like, this is hilarious. Right. And I'm like, this is such a funny idea. And like you guys should listen to it. Just like the novelty is great, but the fact that it's in the album, I just like
their big comeback album. Yeah. Like this is what it is. It's like a little frustrating, 100%.
Okay,
but yeah, all right, it's across the board. And now moving on to our man's Open Mike Eagle dropping his latest project called Brick Body Kid Still J-Dream, based on a pretty crazy aspect of pretty recent. I thought this happened a while ago, but pretty recent Chicago history. Chicago had a very famous project housing called...
Well, how recent?
It officially was knocked down in 2007.
Okay, I thought it was like 2005. I thought you meant like 2 years ago or something.
I thought, well, yeah, it's not. Okay. But I had thought it happened in like the 80s or something. Oh, like, no, I thought he was like a kid when it happened.
No. Yeah, but this album makes it seem like that.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like very old nostalgia that I thought this happened like a long time ago.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I was like, oh, it just happened like, I mean, not recent, but like fair enough. But yeah, basically in Chicago, there's a very infamous, large, huge project housing complex called the Robert Taylor Homes. And in 2007, Chicago just fucking tore it all down, booted everyone that lived there. About 27,000 people they just pretty much kicked out onto the street and dismantled. Didn't really replace it with anything, and just was
Yeah.
like, bye.
I think at that point we should start talking about the album, because the album
Right.
kind of gives like a story.
Yes.
It's like it's loose, but it's like every other track
Right.
will like pop in, or there'll be like consecutively a couple tracks, but then there'll be like one. Actually, if I'm just looking at this, it's pretty much on theme until like TLDR,
Right.
and where it's like it goes into like normal Mike Eagle. But yeah, it starts off with like it's theming kind of like this, like a ghetto superhero, but literally just kind of like the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's describing Magneto and like Professor Xavier and like X-Men in general. So I think like the whole thing he's trying to put is like, because the X-Men has always been like a thing about like diversity and like racism, like an allegory for it. So I guess he just like took that, and then also the character like the Juggernaut, who's like a person, like he's an unstoppable force to be reckoned with, but also a person who has like, he wears like this like helmet on his head to prevent like forces from messing with him,
Right.
and like to keep himself like safe, right? So I think he just like made like a very artsy like introspection on that concept,
Right.
and he made like a really sweet like opening song that was just like kind of like very empowering, that becomes, I mean, like later on the album, just really sad.
Yeah.
But I have to forget, it's like this very hopeful, like really like sweet
And he can
song.
still make you laugh.
Yeah.
Even in between, which
Yeah.
is really powerful stuff. And then he follows up the opening with a song called "How Could Anybody Feel at Home," which I think was a nice way to continue on everything that he was saying in the first one, where he's kind of saying that like he's attached to this place, but he's also, he's become a rapper. He beautifully puts it. I've made some goofy shit that sounded like a poem, and now he's been traveling the world off that, and he's been doing all these things and been outside of the hood, and pretty much. But he's still very much attached to this area that he grew up in, and that's been hugely fucked with. I mean, Chicago is doing terrible with his inner cities. So, but yeah, he does that. Links up with Samus. Shoutouts to Samus, who loves my Tumblr, by the way. But yeah, just amazing songs on this. Beautiful lyrics. Manages to make us laugh during these. What gets really serious later on, with My Auntie's Building, Daydreaming in the Projects is really serious.
I would say specifically Brick Body Complex is the most serious song. And it's just like the concept of like, I don't know, the brick body is like, my body's a building, and like you can't tear this down, and like it's just like this very like stand like in your ground type song, like I'm gonna protect what I love and what like defines me,
right?
And like literally it's also implying like it gets destroyed,
right?
So it's just like this really like sad tragedy,
right? That
like it tells, and it's just like this the song itself is sad in like as a single, but in the context of the album, it's just like really, really tragic.
Right.
And it's like I'm like, damn, this is so sad.
Right.
And like if you just read it while you're listening to it, you're just like, this is like the most
this is fucked up.
Yeah, this is so fucked up. And he definitely like taps into like the emotional core of like those ideas that surround something just so profoundly sad and difficult. But it's not like just facts. It's like consistently inhabiting the people themselves. I think it's easier than like the emotional vein of it is like very much just like shot into you, so it's just like you kind of like feel it. And it's just like this. It's just weird. While making you laugh, also making you like kind of cry. Like this is so sad. And then he cuts. I love how like, okay, so there is I do have like a certain little minor nitpicks in this album that I thought were just odd. And one I liked was that like Brick Body Complex is followed by TLDR, which is like the most Michael Eagles song in existence, and it's like the most quotables.
Those were like all the ones I noted.
That was literally just his quotables, just like fucking, just it was like an MF Doom song. Of like quotables, just like fucking the whole thing. Because like I remember this one, I was like, I've been woke so long, maybe I need a nap. I think was the one.
Huge.
That's a great one.
But that's what I'm afraid of. And then like I was like, whoa, that's scary too. Like that's like, it's funny while also being like, damn, that's scary. Like,
one of my favorite quotables from that song is "Show me everything except whoever makes the best vapes."
I was like,
holy
That's so good. That whole
legendary.
That whole song is just like it could have been on like dark comedy.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like I think a nice, real like change of pace. Because also I think there's a line there. I think it's all good in the hood. I think.
It's all good in the hood.
That's
I
beautiful.
think.
Yeah. And that's like one of the first lines, and I think that's a really interesting contrast to like. I mean, like as you said, being away from it, and it like kind of contrasts it, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Like I thought, wow, even though this is kind of off, I feel like it's kind of like parallels it, and I can, even though it's like not in the same world, that's the point, right? Like, and he kind of even acknowledges it in a lyric, and then it goes to like one more song, "Breeze by Witch Roll," which is like also acknowledging like the story and stuff, and then it goes into Wedding Ghosts, and I have a problem with Wedding Ghosts.
Yeah.
And it's not because the concept of the song is hilarious.
Right.
So Austin, I'm gonna tell you what the concept of the
Please
song
do.
is. The concept of the song is just Michael. It's just open mic telling people, please don't invite me to weddings.
Yep.
That's it. That's
no way.
That's the whole song.
Oh man.
That's the.
We gotta make one of those.
And it's an amazing.
I hate weddings.
It's an amazing concept because he's just literally just shredding anybody trying to invite him. He's like, hey, you didn't come to my wedding. Why should I go to yours? And like, there's like, it's just like a bunch of these real ass kind of like
what does it say about the funeral? It's like I didn't go to your funeral, or you didn't invite me
to your funeral.
Yeah.
Like, why should I go to a wedding? Blah, 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 you didn't invite me to your funeral or something like that. And like,
massive.
Wow, this is like a great concept for a song. But where the fuck did this come from?
Why in this album right now?
Yeah, it's like
towards the end.
The idea, but just
I gotta
like,
hear that.
but in context to the rest of it.
Yeah.
What we were talking about,
definitely.
and then there's like towards the end of the album, there's this song. It's so him, but it's just like, dude, wait, I get it. Like weddings suck, and also you feel he's also I'm busy doing stuff. Well, I can't take time going to a festival to go to your wedding.
Right.
I barely fucking know you. Like, why? Like, we're friends, but like, I'm not like. If you want to like chill, I'll chill. But I'm not gonna like change. Like, I want to go play music. I want to create stuff. I don't want to go to fucking weddings. He's also like 35, so I'm pretty sure there's a shit ton
of them that happen around him.
But dude, and maybe you just really need to get it out. Yeah, I understand, but it just like came off as so weird.
Yeah.
Because like at least till DR, it felt like relevant. Like this is what's going on in my life, and maybe he's trying to say, oh, this is all the fucked up shit's going on. Look what I'm caring about. It's a wedding thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think he is.
Yeah, because it's not well enough. It's like not expressly stated. Like that's like what's happening here.
No, I just feel like
it's too off the cuff.
I think he really just didn't want people to invite him to weddings anymore.
The man has had enough.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. It's a really well crafted song. It's just sequencing wise very weird. Like I feel like that could be like a single. Yeah. Like just like a little one-off song, but like, hey guys, just so you know, and don't invite me to the wedding, because I don't know. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't like even remember that song just because I was like, oh yeah, that song pops up randomly and it's just like out of place. But like, yeah, it was just kind of like, all right. That was like the one song that I kind of just like put to the side, even where I was.
But just saying, I'm just saying in concept because I think is when I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really funny. But why is this here?
Yeah, literally, I'm just like
really
processing it all now. I'm just like, oh yeah, like now I'm just like, why? Because before I was just kind of like, all right, that's a song that exists. But now I'm just kind of like, yeah, now it's like weird in the context of this album. So I don't know. That one was definitely like an interesting move. But overall, the things I did like.
Oh, just a final third. It's not. I think it's just confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand for narrative purposes for the song to end, like my auntie's building, it ends with the building being torn down. But 95 Radios chronologically takes place after, right?
Again,
okay.
Interesting choice of placement.
But I think it's because you want to end on the fucking building being destroyed because that makes the most sense. And this 95 Radios is a great song again. Has loads of great on it. It's a good beat. Yeah, and it's just like discussing the concept of like being displaced and suddenly trying to like find and connect with like people you've like just suddenly been like estranged from, like and just like the difficulty of like reconnecting, right? Which I think is like kind of like another aspect to this album on top, like as we talked before from open mic, and thematically falls in line. It's just because chronologically it's just like, oh, so he's out now, huh? And then in the album they destroy the building. So maybe there might be more to it, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe he's just like, this gets the point across. Like,
Right.
So yeah, I just thought it's not like it doesn't like ruin the album or anything, but I just thought it was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm gonna be like, this is all points off for that. No,
Right.
that's stupid. But it was just like a thing where I just like as a person trying to like think about it, it just was a little weird.
Yeah. So for the things that I really liked about it, starting things off, I really like the production. I think the production's amazing. We get some of his. We don't really get like hard mic.
Well,
we
except
get
for no selling.
But yeah,
it's the goofiest.
Because that's the hardest beat. I was like, whoa! I was like, holy shit! But the beats are sick. We actually got to see Open Mike Eagle at a secret show, and he performed with a band. And it's very apparent that he recorded this with that band, and I think he sounds great with like full on instrumentals and not just him on the SP.
I don't maybe
because like you definitely hear the guitarist guy in the horn section, and I was like, oh, this sounds
multiple
really good.
Producers though.
Oh yeah, there's
at the same
producers
time.
on there.
There's that's what I thought was really impressive because the amount of producers on this album. And they sound so coherent and like normal. Like it seems like if you told me it was just all that band, I would have believed you. Like I wouldn't question that.
You would have been like, yeah.
Oh yeah, cool,
fun.
yeah. But the fact that it's like 9 producers on this,
it's crazy.
Like, I was like, oh, this is crazy that there's this much and the variety of like people involved, but yet it's still cohesive.
But yeah, that's one of the things. Like I thought the beats were great, and it was also the most like cohesive sounding. The theme goes a little everywhere, but the cohesive sounding project that he's put out, and I really love that. Once again, plenty of quotables. There's no surprise there. But I also, in terms of like what he talks about, I think one of my favorite things that he does is he tries really hard to stress the fact that black people in these communities are not one-dimensional, and I think that's something he does really well. Where a lot of times, a project out like a housing project is going to get labeled as dangerous and drug dealers hang out here, and he does that line where he's like, there were drug dealers and church folk, and I think that's something like a lot of people ignore. Like you look at an area like Compton, and you're like, damn, that place is scary. I'm never going to South Central. It's fucking crazy. And then you ignore the fact that there's like normal people who live there also. Like there are people who never gangbang. They're just chilling, living their life,
some people just
doing
like,
average
work
things.
at like a shitty
Because
place
there's
and
people
they,
who just
they
work
go
9
home.
to 5s and they go home.
Yeah,
and like that's just where they live. And they're just hanging out. And I think people a lot of times ignore that. And that's how you get a situation like the Robert Taylor homes being destroyed, because you're just like, oh, this is a terrible area, there's just crime and drugs, and you just displace all these people who are tax-paying citizens living their normal life, and you just
but
kick them
also
out.
like I think another thing just in theory of displacing, like that's like gonna fix, even if that was the issue they're trying to fix, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like just like, oh yeah, there's a lot of fucking gangsters and stuff here, let's destroy all these projects and just push them out in other places. And I was like, dude, that's just fucking crazy. You're gonna make these people just explode.
Yeah, they're just gonna get mad. They're gonna go to a different hood, go crazy,
or they just like go. They try to they put in an environment they know nobody,
right?
And they're just gonna fucking just like not relate to anything around them and become like serial killers or something. Like they
or just a gang war breaks out because you put a bunch of people from
one
hood and force them to another
or they
hood.
just get either one they'll get killed or two they'll be completely isolated and depressed.
Exactly.
Like, and the fact that they destroyed it and literally just left it like a fucking pit.
Right.
Like it's just not even like they didn't build like a Chili's or something.
Like it's not even like gentrification. Like it's not like they put up Whole Foods.
They were just like, we want you
stuff.
fucking out.
They were just like, bye. We'll figure out what to do with this later, but for now, bye.
Yeah, we didn't put condos. We didn't put like we had mall. Like it's like the worst thing. Like all these sound fucked up already.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's nothing
is like almost worse.
Yeah,
like, it's just such a fuck you.
Definitely worse.
But so yeah, I think in terms of that, he paints this vivid and beautiful picture, really presenting all sides, adding a lot of depth to the situation, shedding a lot of light on it, and I respect that a ton. I respect the instrumentals. Sounds great. He sounds great. And I just think it was really cool. Like you said, there's some things to nitpicky on, like wedding ritual, or what is it? Wedding
ghost or something.
Yeah,
like that.
wedding ghost is out of nowhere. 95 radios could have been placed a little better. There's little nitpicky things like that.
But where like, I thought about it, like where could it be placed? Like
yeah,
after?
that's the thing. Is like
that's why I kept mentioning because Auntie's Building has like that ending, like
right.
like you hear like being destroyed,
right.
but like yeah, it's just like chronologically, I think like sometimes things get a little murky, and yeah, I can get over it,
right? But
it's just like a thing that I was just like I had to like figure it out,
right?
You know, it wasn't like because I feel like a lot of this album is like the emotional undercurrent is so like hits you in the face,
right?
So when I have to like figure something out, I might not realize something like the depth of it immediately. Right. And maybe he wants that. I don't know. It's like, but I just felt like perhaps if he wanted that emotional impact to be a little more clear, then these nitpicks kind of like halted it a little bit at points. And one more quick point. I also love that I think we could talk about every song real quick.
There's
but like,
so much.
but no selling, which we mentioned earlier. I wanted just to mention, just like the concept of the song is so funny.
It's so funny.
So you know like selling is in like wrestling, Austin. Well, I'll use it as an avatar for the audience.
Think about like wrestling.
Yeah,
like
it's fake.
You're selling a move. Or selling pain, or selling like it's like acting, right?
Yeah,
right.
You do it in sports too.
You gotta sell it.
Yeah, you gotta sell it.
Yeah.
You have to sell like the emotion of it, right? And or like, so this he just kind of applies it to kind of like just men and like how they deal with pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I'm not selling shit.
Wow.
I was like, I'm fine. I'm not being hurt right now.
And he just describes all these ways he's actually being hurt, but he's like, no, I'm fine.
But I'm all good.
I'm
no selling. It's just like, but it's such a funny idea to make like the hardest song. Probably an open mic I've ever heard open mic on.
Yeah. No selling.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But yeah, that's like such a classic open mic. Just conceptually, I think he can. The best thing he's ideas for songs and making things come across. It's just like he's so good at it.
Right.
And perhaps the idea of a concept album he hasn't perfected per se, but he's close. And still, his like the way he can craft a track is just like, and it's close, but it's just like not perfect.
Right.
And in general, I'll still give it like a Mondo Cool. I think you should definitely check it out.
Yeah. Definitely highly recommend. I'm gonna give it a go.
Mondo Cool.
He's giving it your first.
No, I give it Mondo Cool and stuff.
Oh, the broadcast.
I give it low Mondo Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it the high cool. I think, like you said, he set himself with a strict theme, and I think that focused him a lot. He didn't fully commit to a concept album, but he had a theme that he wanted to go with. It focused him, and we got his most cohesive set album that I think he's ever put out. And I think it's really solid. I guess I can't stress how much you should listen to Open Mike Eagle, and I highly recommend you check out this album. It's amazing. It brings up a great part of Chicago history that's really crazy and more people should know about, and I just think it's a really solid album, and go ahead and give it a high cool.
Yeah, I think I was thinking similar to high cool, but then there's like some, I think just like the emotions of it really do get to me, because I listened to that first song and like initially I liked it, but I go back and I listen to it and it's like it's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like a weird emotion I don't think I usually get from albums, and I like appreciate like I don't know, just like the fact that I'm getting these emotions for something like I didn't expect to, or like I don't usually get from music. And I think the fact that it evoked it to me, like, because I listened to it like quite a bit until now, I was like, I thought it was really impressive, and I'm like, as a fan too, like, I'm like, wow, this is also the fact that he did something different,
right?
Because like he could have just done a whole album of TLDRs, like, and I would have been like happy probably, but like the fact that he did, I can't help like as a fan appreciate it. So I guess that might push me a little more in favor of giving him something like higher. So yeah, I'm Mondo Cool. I think people should check it out.
100%.
And if you like, I don't know, perhaps if for some reason these songs you're like, well, he's a little too serious, go listen to Dark Comedy, and you might have like the sillier, like
you can get plenty
serious,
of
serious open mic, as opposed to just. I think a lot of these are more kind of like there's whimsy and funny things, as opposed to like out there silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Shout out to Open Mike. I know you're gonna listen. I know you're so excited about this.
I don't know, but yeah, it'd be super funny if you did. Just like, dude, do you have things to do?
Are you not busy?
Yeah, you're really. You have a lot of things. You have like a TV show.
Oh, you got so much going on.
Yeah, you have like your stand up. You have an album performing with people.
You have a child.
Yeah, you have a child. Yeah, it's like
that's pretty time consuming.
You have a podcast. Like, why are you listening to us?
Yeah, you have a podcast.
Yeah,
you do this.
Yeah, you have famous friends.
But yeah, we did it. Another episode in the books. Shout outs to everyone we covered. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, it's been a fun one.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Mondo Cool episode 10.
Mondo.
Make sure you're fucking checking out the SoundCloud, the YouTube. Now we're on iTunes, so you can officially subscribe to us.
Hell yeah.
I haven't even done that. I'm gonna do it right now.
Wherever you listen to podcasts. I don't know if you're a Stitcher person. You do it off iTunes.
What the fuck is Stitcher?
It's like... It's a big podcast network. It's what Kevin Smith does his shit off of.
Wow.
They do a bunch of shit. Whatever you want. I don't know. Podcast Addict, the Android app.
The podcast app on the iPhone does suck. Yeah. Like, by the way.
So
like,
you got to get a third-party one. There's much better ones.
Word.
But yeah, go ahead and fucking subscribe. Make sure you're coming here on Twitch so you can be in chat. Shout-outs to you people who come into the vodcast and think you're in chat, but you're not.
How do I find it?
Come here live, Tuesdays, 9 p.m.
I'm looking.
Absolutely.
You're in the Mondo.
Cool. Like that?
Mondo Cool. You can download it wherever you like.
There you go.
Wow, we have great SEO.
Yeah, we're right there.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
I told you, we
Download
killed
it wherever you like.
Download it wherever you like. And with that, folks, have a great night.
Give it a 5.
Give it a 5
please.
stars. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Everyone subscribe right now. Everyone in chat,
button.
do me a favor. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
I love you. Have a great night. Just kidding. It's the post game show. Boop, 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 boop.
Damn.
Chat.